Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ocean of Tears. This is Sarleon on my Necromancer Aneurysm. I hit 44 and decided instead of chugging sow pots and having to recharge them, I would take the initiative to get on the AC camp and start my Journeyman Boots quest. I'd capture all the footage and all the necessary steps to completing this quest in this video. So within this, you'll see, I'll give you an introduction. I'll sit on the camp. Next, what I'm going to do here, the camp can take some time for the previous people on the camp to complete and get the Ancient Cyclops to spawn. This is a 6-minute timer for 4 different placeholders. I think it's Book Mudtoe or something like that. A pirate, a Cyclops, and ultimately an Ancient Cyclops who drops a Ring of the Ancients. That's it. Ring of the Ancients, which you'll need that, a Shadow Rapier, 3250 gold pieces, so 325 platinum converted to 3,250 gold. And you'll need to hand all these into Hasten Bootstrutter in Rathe Mountains. So that's an overview of the quest. Of course, we'll have to get the first step, which is the big bottleneck, is the Ring of the Ancients from an Ancient Cyclops. This camp is notorious for being unforgiving. You could spend anywhere from probably, I mean, I've seen it on the first spawn when I've got the placeholder, but I've been up here. My rule of thumb is if I'm here for more than 4 or 5 hours, I just leave and come back the next day. But I've heard some people be here from 12 to 15 hours on a very unlucky spawn. So the approximate percentage of spawn is probably 2 to 3%, maybe as low as 1% for this placeholder. At level 44, you should have plenty enough as far as spell ability, snaring, dot stacking, and fear kiting to be able to take care of the various Cyclopses and Ancient Cyclops as well. The Cyclopses that spawn here as well as Ancient Cyclops, I don't have determined numbers, but somewhere around 40 to 41. So that's where it's best just to do the one spawn, because you're going to need to sit med mana, because they got a lot of HP, probably twice as much as other mobs their level throughout Rathe. But while we're waiting, we've got a few different activities we can do. We can go back to Spectres, get some levels there. That is a great option. You can do Sea Fury Cyclopses. I'm also going to sit on the Gornit camp a little bit to get some platinum. I want to show that off for anybody doing the mage focus items. But first of all, this is a ritual of mine when I'm sitting on the AC camp and waiting for the list, is to get a Robe of the Oracle. You get 2 spawns here. This is directly south of the Sisters camp. We spent a lot of time there. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but there's this little Goblin Island camp, and it's just, I think it's straight west. Is it west or east? I'm pretty sure it's west of the Spectre Island too. So it's pretty quickly accessible from the AC Island, which is just directly, I think it's east. I don't know. I've got it's somewhere around there. Please consult your map for just to verify, to absolutely verify. But what we're going to try to do here, I think this is doable at 44. I did end up getting it, but here's what I ended up doing. To split, I sent the Oracle, fearing the Guardian does mess up my pet. I think the Guardian is like 41 or 42. Yeah, he does a lot of damage. It's a paladin, so the Guardian, he will lay on hands. I am not getting snare to land. Landing spells was very difficult. I could keep him rooted for a very short amount of time, and he would come right after me. So, yeah, this was... I'm not able to do the Guardian, but it helped me understand what I can do to split. Now, if I can get the Oracle to go another direction, feign death and aggro wipe the Guardian, I can then at the if I stand up close to the end of the Oracle sphere, I can stand up and probably get him solo. So let's try that, because this was not successful taking down the Guardian. I just got my little keister handed to me. So round 2. Fight! Alright, and then I use my short duration fear. I'm going to run a little bit away. Now here's where the global cooldown really comes into effect, because I'm going to need to feign death as soon as possible. I'm going to click that off. Now I don't have eyes on the Guardian, so the only problem with using that short duration fear is you're going to kind of have to get lucky. I can see a little bit. And then I'm just counting in my head and like visualizing when he actually stops at the spawn point and turns around. Okay, that looks good. Now this worked out well. It might not have, but this time a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck. I will say that. This was a tad bit of skill and a good amount of luck. But eventually you do it enough, you'll get a good split. And the Oracle is a caster. I think he's level 36. He's not too terribly tough. He's dark blue to me. The only hard part is the Guardian. If you can get around the Guardian, somehow crowd control it, or single pull the Oracle, there you go. But I like this because it was a test of my skill. Make sure I'm not too rusty. You know, it's good just to find little hitches like this, little challenges to help see what you're made of. Go out, adventure, see what you're made of. But nice robes were at the end of it, so it was worth it for me. Now, he does have the Oracle's on his own faction, which I don't care about. Now, I didn't mention this is a turn-in for the Paladin Epic Quest, so if you want to be courteous, just do a call-out. Does anybody need the Oracle for Paladin turn-in while you're here? If no, just go ahead. It's not a terrible respawn timer. It's like, again, 3 hours or 6 hours, but yeah, not too bad. I can't remember what I was trying to do here. I think I was trying to assert my dominance and having my pet swim over the Oracle, but are you gonna loot it, Sarleon? There we go. Alright, and we got Robe of the Oracle. Now in blue it still sells for a little bit, like I think it's up to 200, 250. You do need this for the Robe Epic as well, but it's not my favorite robe, but it's in my top 5. Look at those threads. Look at that. Look at that nice light sky blue. Reminds you of sunny days. Doesn't go well with my hat very well, but I still like it. The red was kind of looking drab and looking a little bit too dark and vampirish. Yes. And the 2 suns on the chest. It's even better. Oh, hey, guy. Yeah, I was just curious. You seen the Oracle of Gornit? I was just curious. I need to do a turn-in with him. Have you seen him? I know somebody that was. Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. Well, hopefully comes up soon. Some guardian you are, Mr. Gornit. Okay, that's enough mocking him. Well, we've had enough fun here. I got my new robe, new threads. I'm looking fresh. Let's head over to the Sea Fury Island and go for our next target while we're waiting for the AC list. Another thing you can do while you're waiting, I'm over here on the Sea Fury Cyclops Island. There is this single spawn Gornit. I think Sea Furies might be a little bit to deal with. They're not really great XP, but you will get some money drops. Gornit's kind of a nice supplement, I guess you could say. He's the same level as Spectres, I think 33 to 37. He drops platinum, not as much as Hill Giants, but very similar to Hill Giants. And a unique factor with Gornit is Gornit will actually drop all 4 of the different toes for Giants. That is Hill Giant toes, Fire Giant toes, Ice Giant toes, and there's a 4th. Is it Cyclops toes? I don't think he drops Cyclops toes, but you can get those here. So at least those 3 different. So if you're working on your Reclaim Focus quest for your Magician, or any class that can use that, it's really nice to come here to be able to get all the toes in one spot. So yeah, this is a little shout out to this spot. Not really part of the JBoots quest or anything, but it's helpful to know when you're doing those quests. Alright, here we are back on the Cyclops, or Ancient Cyclops Island. Now, you know the difference of this island is because the one right next to the sisters, but there's one just regular A Cyclops that goes around. You want to differentiate that from the Sea Fury Cyclops because they're distinctly different monsters. So, basically, your approach here, this is one that I'm going to recommend dot stacking. You'll want to, I hit Heat Blood here, but you're definitely going to want to do your long-standing dots. Here's an example where you might want to use your Scourge, your Boiled Bloods, your chilling, the chilling poison one. I can't remember what it's called, but those dots that last 16 to 20 plus ticks. This will take quite a bit. You're probably going to have to go through 2 Invoke Fears to get this done. And Dooming Darkness will be probably, it'll probably fade around 15%. I wasn't successful in landing a Systoles on him very much, especially since it's such close level. So if you really wanted to do that and land poisons, I'd recommend using, I can't remember which scent you have at this, but your scent line to lower resists, and then use those ahead too. Sometimes you'll get lucky, you'll just get a little pirate or bugmug toe. I can't even remember the guy's name, but they're really easy to take out. And my recording software was off, but I finally got an Ancient Cyclops. So to give you all some sense of how long this took, I was here for probably about 3.5 hours. You're looking at doing 9 to 10 spawns per hour. 10 if you're really booking it. Actually probably closer to 8 to 9 since we were spending a few minutes fear kiting. So let's just say, take it generous and say 8. 8 with 3 hours, 8 times 3. So I did probably around close to 30 placeholders before I got an Ancient Cyclops. This is kind of the median, so I'd say this camp, I'd say it's probably about 2 to 3% spawn rate on an Ancient Cyclops. But totally doable at level 44. You don't have to wait till your 50s. Will it take a while? Will you annoy some people on the list because you're taking a while? Yeah, but, you know, big deal. You got to give people some opportunity. This camp is doable with your levels, so I just say that because I've came on this camp at lower levels, and there's been wizards that come out here, druids, and they'll basically kill still the placeholder, just like nuke them down. And they do it with good meaning because they want the camp to go faster, they want to help out. But this is a good spot. I don't remember even how much I got. I think I got a good 20+% experience into my level of 44. So you will get experience doing this. You're not going to get a lot of loot, but you will get experience. So a caveat of doing this. But all right, there we go. An Ancient Cyclops has been routed, and there is our Ring of the Ancients. What a beautiful sight. I used to do this camp a lot on Saarland, so I've seen quite a few of these, but I still get excited. It's one of those camps you always get excited. I get excited when I see an Ancient Cyclops spawn, get the woohoo, grats, see it, take it down, and loot that ring of the Ancients. Realistically, it's probably an upgrade because I think it's 6 AC and plus 5 intelligence for your wrists. So even if you wanted that. So I'm going to rejoice, do some dances, and then Riz is going to take over the camp. Now, he was on the camp previously, had to leave, so he let me succeed him. And I kind of gave a timeline. Okay, I'm going to be done in 30 minutes, so if you want the camp, feel free to take it. And I got it within, I think, the second to last one before I was going to take off. So I got really lucky. I recommend if you come out and do this and you get on the list, just set limits. Try to set healthy limits for yourself. Back when I was farming, I did, I think, 3-hour limits. So the total time I would spend on the list and farming was 3 hours. And if I didn't get it in that time, big deal. I'm just going to pass on the camp. There's plenty to do here midst of waiting for the camp. You can gain some levels, but this is another reason why Ocean of Tears is one of my favorite zones in the whole game. The biggest quality of life quest that you're going to have, JBoots, instant click, you get speed increase. You don't have to, no longer have to be at the mercy of recharging your soap pots and that being a money drain. You just click your JBoots and then you're good to go. Every outdoor zone, it is my global refresh cooldown too. It works. So, all right. Well, I have talked enough. That is only one part, the first part of the quest. So that is the big bottleneck, but we have more to do. The second of this quest, the second part of this quest is you will need to acquire a shadowed rapier from a shadowed man. There's about, I'd say there's a 1 in 4 chance that, so there's basically 3 classes that I see with the Shadow Man. There's Necromancer, there's like a Cleric type, it looks like, with the little orb. You'll know the Necromancers. And then there are Warrior types, which there's kind of 2 Warrior types. There's dual-wielding Warrior types, and there's also Warrior types that carry 2-handed weapons that you can't see equipped. So you'll see a variation of 4 different ones. Necromancers with pets, clerics, dual wielders, and then just shadow men without anything equipped. These are huge undercons, so just be careful when doing this at 44. I'd recommend you're going to be high enough to be able to single pull them. But just like here, here's a big... you really got to watch out for your pet getting too close, because it's lower level and the shadow men are going to just gang up on your pet. Fortunately, I was able to get this under control, but that's about one of the few things that could go wrong. Otherwise, at this level, they're well into their 20s. They're not that bad. You will get some research materials. Keep a lookout for your, I think it's a shadow book if you want to do your Temple of Solasek row quest. For the, I don't even know. There's something that you use it for. I've never got it. Some people use it as a GCD, but as you see right now, they are huge undercons. I even had to flee and come back, but the better strategy I found was sitting on the outskirts and then pulling them in. But big hooray, we finally got it. Now this took me about an hour and a half, but you will see the Shadowed Rapier equipped, so that is a good thing. Pretty easy, loot it, and then you're good. Now, one thing I didn't mention, in my opinion, Lavastorm or Nectalus Forest is the best place to come to because it's got the most Shadowmen spawns. It's on the lowest timer too. A lot of people go to West Commons, but I don't like that because the timer there is about 10 minutes for a Shadowman, whereas Lavastorm and Nectalus, it's about on your average 640, and there's more spawns. So, hooray! We got 2 parts down. We just need the 3rd, then we'll go and do turn-in. So I'm at the bank here. What you want to do is you want to take 325 platinum and then take it from your bank and put it in your gold slot. Try to carry it exactly so that'll make it a little bit easier. I've got a little bit more, but I'm getting a port here. If it's recommended that you get a strength and a soul to help you carry it, because I'm making this guide for necromancers. I can only assume that you don't have the highest strength. So find a druid that can give you storm strength. It'll give you about plus 30 strength, and so will help you out quite a bit from a higher level druid. But then also dead man floating. Get a fresh dead man floating, so that way you don't have to deal with the the terrain changes and having to deal with fall damage, because that really sucks. Now that we got everything we needed, we're going to invis up. We are buffed, have dead man floating, have a soul, have strength, have an invis. Remember, invis is really important because there is a dark assassin that is on the furthest reach by the Rathe Mountains zone line. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. He's across the bridge. You don't want to get backstabbed to death as you're here all lit up and you got the rush going and ooh, I'm going to get my JBoots, and then stabbed in the back. It's happened to people, believe me, trust me. So make sure you got invis up. But I'm gonna book it. It's just kind of a straight shot west. It's west of the Druid Ring. It's Furot's a long zone, so I'm just gonna speed this up so it's not so laborsome to watch. So yeah, but I want to get the full run to give you all a good idea. This is a pretty good run, so just another public service announcement. Make sure you're buffed when you're running here. And I followed my own advice the best I can, but my dead man floating is still wearing off. What a dummy I am. Hey, I'm going to expose my flaws so everybody else can learn from them. I've made plenty of mistakes, and hopefully I can just present them, call them out as they arise, and help you all learn, because it's just going to happen. Okay, here we are in Rathe Mountains. Fortunately, that run was pretty long, but it's going to be pretty easy to get over to Hasten. Basically, what you'll want to do is continue. There's just this little enclosure that you're going to be running through. You'll see a four-way. The big pillar to the right, there's a tree. At the tree, we'll kind of bank left. Yeah, bank left at this tree here. Make sure you got both your ring and rapier in really close together. What you'll need to do is hail lock, but we're going to go left here. Now the landmarks you'll be seeing here, there'll be some undead, a lot of basilisk, the little ruins there, that golden tower. And what I want to be heading for is that hill just right in front of me. I have no idea if Hasten is up. Well, spoiler alert, Hasten was up, but his placeholder will spawn right here. And you're not going to be able to catch Hasten. He runs at, I think, Bard speed, or at least So speed. So the strategy that you're going to need to stop Hasten, to hand this in, there's the dirty little runt, is you're just going to have to spam hail. Hail, hail. So hit H, have one hand hit H, just tap, 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 tap. And then hand everything in. And you got your journeyman boots. Yes! Hooray! Click them. Thanks, Mr. Hasten. And he's a gnome, too. What a nice little guy. I don't think there's any faction here, so you should be able to do it no matter what. I don't think Hasten's on any faction, so I've been able to turn this on every character without any faction work, so you got it. All right, everybody, we did it. We completed our JBoots in one session. We got our Ring of the Ancients from An Ancient Cyclops. We had acquired a Shadowed Rapier from a Shadow Man in the Lavastorm Mountains, and I had 3,250 gold in the bank that I could convert to platinum. And wouldn't you figure, Hasten's got the same face as I do. This is taking a photo opportunity. This is too much of an opportunity to pass up. Well, there you go. I hope you all take the opportunity to get your own JBoots and go out and you're able to adventure in style and have some quality of life. So thank you all. Have a great night and stay classy.